Hello everyone and welcome to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Alpha 1. I've done a couple streams on this, but I figured let's get a little bit of content onto YouTube, which is more YouTube friendly, for those of you, at least for those of you who don't want to watch streams. So the only thing you can do right now in the game, maybe, is the Naval Academy. So new campaign where probably the heart of the action is going to be. I mean, this game is shaping up to be a lot like Rule the Waves. So we expect that this is going to be where most people spend their time. Right now it's in development, so please play the Naval Academy, which will oblige them for the moment. I have, like I said, I've done some of these. I even did Battlecruiser versus Dreadnought on stream, but I think I'm going to start with this one since I haven't finished it yet. It's kind of a fun one. We can also do the Torpedo the Dreadnought one. Take this over again. This one gives people, I think it's this one. Oh, actually, it's this one, the Torpedo Basics. This can give people a lot of trouble. Mind you, I think quantity over quality, or as, who was it, Napoleon? I forget who said it. Quantity is a quality all its own. Anyways, let's go with Battlecruiser versus Dreadnought here. There's some good options here for the first three. I think that we want to enhance firepower. What is this can do? Increase resistance, hull form, stability, floatability. Decrease hull weight, which is fantastic. Increase turn rate, we don't care about. And rudder shift speed, we also don't care about. So this is going to do a lot more for us in terms of weapons. The thing I really like the most is the 5% resistance here. I don't really care about the, seven line mounts for large guns. We don't really care about that. What I'd like to see in this one is, instead of these turning rates, I'd much rather see gun aim speed, accuracy, 20% gun base accuracy, and 30% long range accuracy. I think, we have to go with this one. We have to go with enhanced firepower. That's just too good not to do. We only have one choice, which is to build a battlecruiser. Now, this is a one-on-one duel. One-on-one duels, I have to say that I'm pretty sure we're not going to need a very fast battlecruiser. I don't actually know when speed is going to play a huge role, but obviously when you're exchanging broadsides, there is a game mechanic introduced into this game which makes moving ships more stable. I don't know at what speeds that works quite yet, but there's another thing where the faster you're going, the harder you are to hit. Now, I'm not exactly sure how true either of those things in reality are, but we'll play along for now. So looks like we have some different engines we can choose. This is one interesting wow, is that really loud or is it just me? One interesting difference with Rule the Waves is that these are actually not mandatory for you to take the most recent, which is interesting because it obviously adds more diversity to the potential ships you can build, but at the same time, it's very strange that I would say it's almost unrealistic for a navy to build anything but the best. Like, if you have better armor, there's almost no situation where a military is going to say, yeah, on that new ship we're building, please give us less than the best armor. Even if it costs more money, that's just the way militaries work. They absorb the cost of the newer stuff because they need the best thing. So in my opinion, it should be perhaps that the cost of these things does not increase so substantially. You kind of want to make it so that even though it's a little bit more expensive, that's fine. It should be a no-brainer, or if it's not a no-brainer, it should be at least clearly the best choice. So, my two thoughts on it. I don't think we need torpedoes because we're going up against just one ship. Just one battleship, so floatability, chance of fire and fire extinguishing, those sound useful. Water pumping and ship repairs sounds very useful. And again, this resistance thing I'm very fond of, so we'll go with that as well. We'll go with heavy shells here. I haven't done super heavy yet, but I'm pretty confident heavy shells work. I actually don't think we're going to need the the more powerful, the increased shell load. And we're probably not going to be doing torpedoes. So let's see. This is actually interesting. I like TNT a lot. It makes things a lot more expensive. Let's leave this choice for now just because I want to see what the exact impact is. just in case this is your first look at the game, if you missed the streams or you haven't seen it anywhere else, this is the crux. The game, by the way, is essentially like a 3D rule the waves. I know that some people take offense at that, but that's just the best comparison for this. I've even been talking to the publisher or the press team, and they even say it was an inspiration for the team. So you know that there's and why wouldn't it be? It's a great game. Obviously, everyone knows. Well, if you're on my channel, you probably know Rule the Waves is where it's at. So let's go with long range accuracy because I'm gonna gear this to be a long range gunnery ship. So go with advanced tower. I don't exactly know where I want to put this quite yet, but I'm going to put it pretty far back for now, just to... Ooh. Yeah, we'll go with the best, because I usually just don't know what else you would ever want to choose. Looks like we have a spot for a funnel right in the middle there. Plus 23, plus 22.5. That's a rather insignificant difference. That is really not much you're looking at. So this actually fits here. Oh, it looks like it only fits on top of something. Okay. So right click. You have to right click to get rid of the thing from, but you have to be right clicking while the part appears on the ship. Enhanced funnel small. So this looks like it will fit on the bottom layer, but my main tower is blocking it. Oh well. We'll look at funnels is another thing it's good to return to. Now I want to make this ship. I don't really even care about making it super firing. If I do, I would make it super firing in the front only. The reason for this is because I want this thing to just go toe to toe with the enemy dreadnought or whatever it is. Main thing we're going to want to compare over here, around where my cursor is now, is going to be the rate of fire. So reload time, rate of fire, those are right on top of each other. Reload time is 72 seconds. I just want to see how much damage, which is right above us, right above that, 3,333. I want to see what's the difference between the scaling of damage versus the scaling of reload time. Essentially, I'm looking at DPS here. So we slow down, or we increase, we should do rate of fire. If we want to do DPS, it's very easy. I, in fact, could bring out a calculator, but I'm just going to do this in my head. So we have 3 1/3 times 0.83 for the rate of fire. Or we have 2400, 1.02. So the question is 0.83 times 3 1/3 more than 2400 itself? So 2.4, 3 1/3. What is 4/5 of 3 1/3? Oh boy. So let's do the math. That's 10/3 times 4/5. 4/5. So 40 over 15 is 8/3. This is 8/3, which is 2.7. So it is better. Okay, so we'll take the 13-inch guns. It's more. This one I'm guessing is around 2.5, and this one came out to like 2.67. So I'm calling that 2.7. So the 13-inch guns are better. They have higher DPS. And yes, I actually want triple barrels, if possible, but this is going to be a lot of weight. It may be possible to do. Now I can also, yeah, as we can see, I can just hit control. If you hold control, it does allow you to add this stuff independently. I think we're going to be okay with just, and I'm not going to super fire in the back. I'm just going to be 2 lonely turrets. Okay, let's put it here, and I want to back this one up a little bit, if I can. Yeah. So, in the rear it's a little bit awkward, but everything else is fine. Okay, so there it is. There's our ship. She fires 12 13-inch guns. And the next thing we want to do, in fact, the only thing really remaining, and by the way, look at the cost is low. So at this point, we would want to get all the highest armor. Anything which decreases weight, even if it increases cost, that's completely okay right now. which I think, unfortunately, we've already done all of that. Cost is going to skyrocket here, 74% up to 88%. Now, that also decreased our weight slightly, but that's just going to be what we want to do anyway. Hydraulic turrets, I don't know how much traverse speed we want. Advanced hydraulic is cheap. So this is 91 and 89 versus 90 and 88, I think. Otherwise, 91, 89. This really didn't hurt that much, so we'll keep that instead. Versus 91, 90. Actually, it's not that bad. So, and for reloading, because it decreases accuracy, even though it does increase DPS. I'm not sure that auto reloaders actually decrease accuracy, so I'm not sure the game mechanic here. Again, I feel like the game is right now trying to shoehorn a diversity of options, give you more choices, when historically, obviously, as soon as you can have auto-loading weapons, you're not going to go back. So, I am of two minds about this. It is interesting from a game mechanic standpoint, gameplay standpoint, but I strongly disagree with it from a historical standpoint. I'm going to see if I can get the speed up. Just 24 is all I want. So that gives a little bit of weight, which we desperately need to spend on our armor. Now, mind you, for the first 2 hours, 3 hours I was playing this game, I never even noticed this armor screen here. So don't make the same mistake I did. That was already really expensive, getting the armor up to 7 and 2. Next up, we want to just increase conning tower like crazy, because it really sucks when your towers fall. So we're going to go up to 14 or something like that. Turret top also should be at least equal to deck, in my humble opinion. I'm not going to worry about belt extended. I'll go up to 1.2 on deck extended. Turrets, we just want to armor as much as we can, and if I can get secondaries to 3.5, I'll just increase. Excuse me, I'll increase turrets until we can't go any more, which is, we're still okay, but this is probably the last tick. Yeah, there. So 7 inches, it worked out very nice and even. Aft weight offset is way too much. So we're going to bring this guy back a little bit, as close as he dare go. Actually, we might need to move him forward still. Let's go ahead and zoom in, roll on over there, and see what's happening to our... Yes, we need to be here to get the better firing arc, but we might not even have that same good firing arc over here. Yeah, so what we really ought to do is this. Yeah, so this is a really bad firing arc. Now, right now, this one's okay, but in order to make the last one better, we'd have to move this one back. However, I think that because we have way too much weight offset, and as of right now, I don't even know how much of an impact this makes. It may have no impact at all. It's pretty rare for us to actually have front or aft offset. So we can just move this forward like this, and then probably it's nice to move this thing forward anyway. And there we go. 2% aft offset. Looks good to me. And, that's kind of an ugly design because it's not super firing in the rear, but, well, we're going to suck it up because the important thing is we have, everything we could want for, and more in terms of protection. So, let's get to it. If we're lucky, we can make this a one-off video where I actually am able to do a whole mission in a single episode. It's a 1v1 fight, so there's hope. So the first order of business is just to steam up, get to a maximum speed we can, because it does help with... I know it's a little bit strange for me, but you can see somewhere here, own cruise speed is increasing our accuracy by 20%. So it's a really significant advantage even. We do have long-range text and tower, which is good. Should be helping us a whole lot. So whenever we find this guy, hopefully we find him from nice long range, and we stay at nice long range, and we defeat him at a nice long range. Let's speed it up to 5x. I feel like you can also go with control numpad stuff. There's just a lot of little tricks that you can learn about little things you can do a little bit better. First shot, by the way, is a ranging shot with only 2 shells. I find that that's amazing, the little details they're doing. So there's his ranging shot. There's 2 shells. Usually 1 short, 1 long. And then the full barrage is out. So we hit, 17 damage. We want to fight at range. I probably could have just dropped my belt too because we want to fight at range, but I'm going to go ahead and turn. What nation are we fighting as? I didn't take the time to notice. Is that British? Yeah. Looks like the Union Jack. The flag is flowing backwards in the wind. Got some reverse gravity going on. So they're peppering us with something. What the hell? Have we identified this yet? No, 67%. We don't know what this is quite yet. But actually it doesn't look that threatening. At least these guns are just not... Yeah, I don't... Oh, we caught a fire too. So we might even... I think we're going to switch to HE as well. Let's see... I've been told that the HE is kind of overpowered right now. Let's see what happens, because it should start more fires. Oh, yeah. Actually, that seems much more effective. Because we weren't really getting penetrations on the other one anyway. That's what I've heard right now, is that the armor is too good as soon as you get to the better stuff. Now, we know what this is. It is firing 9-inch guns. That's just very weird. So it does outweigh us, 29,000 tons. Has a maximum speed of over ours, which is... We're at 24 and they're at 25.5. So in a lot of ways, this is just a better ship than ours. I mean, except for the guns, which is what we focused on, probably intelligently. So what's our accuracy right now hitting this thing? Well, target lock 20%. Target's fast speed is minus 20%. Can I find out what my own... No, I can't see what his percentages are, but I feel like we're definitely winning this battle so far. Like, you can see that his structure is down to 83% on the top right. He's on fire as well. And we are at 99%, so we're doing pretty well. So this is 5x, as I said. You can speed it up a little bit more somehow, but that's fine. I'll leave it at this. And what we should do is honestly just zoom in on the action. There we go. Watch our prey. Yeah, our accuracy should be better, for starters. And here comes the barrage. So he's firing these things off. Oh, we started a fire. Very nice. There's the fire. Oh, they put it out pretty quickly. But you can see his... And by the way, I want to pay this, or special attention to this. This is still Alpha 1, the very first Alpha. It's amazing how well this game is looking, or how well designed it is, or how good it's looking. Considering this is only Alpha 1, I'm really impressed. And most people share that, so we'll see. Incoming, nice. I think let's switch over to AP again and see what the difference is. So it's funny because they have all these weapons. So this is AP now, I think. We did start a fire with it. Let's actually wait for the next round because I'm not sure. That may have been the HE was still loading. But we're definitely winning this fight. So unless we get some kind of catastrophic failure, this is AP. Yeah, so damage appears to be about the same, maybe? What's his armor? We can look. 1.5 to 11.2 inches. So he has 11-inch armor at some point. Now, I guess we also have very thick armor. AP, HE, it looks about the same, honestly. I'm not seeing a huge difference in the results for the shells. Maybe this 13, maybe he's not using... Oh, he has the plus 70%. What's mine? Plus 80%. So he's using Krupp 1, I think. Since we're using Krupp 2, and I think it's 10% difference between the two. I mean, that should make our armor, well, obviously, harder to penetrate. And I think right now the armor is just a little bit too good at scaling up. Alright, that convinced me that 13 and 8, that let's try HE again. But beautiful game, and who would have thought you'd actually get a chance in my lifetime to play a 3D version of Rule the Waves? Look at all the casemates. We didn't even put casemates on. Little fire going on. So yeah, I mean, you can tell that it's very obvious the different compartments of the ship. They model it exactly that way. You can see this is on fire. Yeah, the HE is doing great. Starting lots of fires. That ship, I mean the enemy ship, may eventually just sink due to fire damage. So we have this really good angle. It's going to be very difficult for the enemy to penetrate our armor from this angle. I can't remember if Hood was moving towards. So if we reversed our direction and we're moving this way, or maybe even a little bit more this way, I think that was the direction Hood was traveling when it was, surprise penetration. The worst kind. Anyway, yeah. So there's not much to say about this battle because we've already won. I have to say, oh, that was a really good hit. Destroy the secondary tower, so that's going to make their efficiency even worse. I think that they can't even spot us now. How's our shells doing? 560. Yeah, we got plenty of shells. I'm still going to come around though. We've done so much damage to them. I think that even if we close the range, I intentionally took long range modifiers. Yeah, he actually cannot even see my ship after losing his second tower. This game is very cool. So there was a whole discussion in the stream comments. I mentioned something about crossing the T and how it's not very effective. I think I stand by my comments for one-on-one combat. Like, crossing the T is mostly a fleet mechanic. Oh, we're still getting hits. But crossing the T, especially after the advent of super firing turrets, is not going to... Yeah, it looks like, by the way, that these will rotate as far as they can, even though they can't fire. They stay, like, kind of tracked on you. And it was cool to hear that dung. Looks like they're back in range, I think. Are their forward guns knocked out? No, not. They are not, but they just aren't firing? I don't know what happened. I mean, I guess that tower was really important, and you can see this is why... This is why I up armor my conning tower a lot, because I've had the same thing happen to me so many times. So, let's experiment with this alt. I don't want to crash the game. Let's not. I'm going to experiment it with it off camera, but I think alt 5 might take the speed up. Here it comes. Oh, good, another fire. And we're on the rear, where we haven't ruined the texture on the rear yet. The damage texture. Oh, they put it out too quickly. So, yeah, but we can probably just close the distance since these barrages are so cool. We have such an advantage in terms of, not in terms of armor, but in terms of chance to hit. So, let's watch the rest of this play out. Very cool to see the smoke. And I feel like they have gotten that right about this game, that the smoke just obstructs everything. And, the funnels you have, they add smoke interference. Which is very accurate. I mean, you have to be able to see where you're shooting, especially because the spotters are on the top of these towers. They're rangefinders, so. Not much to say other than that. I'm just waiting for this to end. Okay, look, I'm going to go for it. Is it control? I forgot the key. I'll have to go back and ask USF what it was. I thought it was Alt numpad. Control? Can't find the controls for the increasing the time beyond 5x. Anyway, it's all over but the crying. I guess we'll just close drastically. I've been like kind of toying with the closing idea. It also, is obviously nice to be able to do tons of damage to this guy without him even being able to return fire. But let's give him a chance and also hopefully end up ending the episode a little bit faster. Okay, he's in firing range now. I wonder if our accuracy will go down because we're not going to be at long range. We're not going to be getting the long range benefit anymore. I mean, I just suppose it shouldn't be ever decreasing your chance to hit as you get closer. Although it doesn't say anywhere what the percentage is. Oh, minus 20% 3 barrels turret tech. So our chance to hit with 3 barrels is just 20% worse. Well, that's good to know. So we probably should have considered taking a 2-barrel just to increase accuracy. But I mean, I think this one's not going to be. It's not in question, right? Probably would have been a little bit more interesting if they had a slightly better battleship, because this is certainly a 9-inch. A battleship with 9-inch guns is almost not a battleship. This is almost like a heavy cruiser, a heavy cruiser. Very over-tonnaged, very overweight, but otherwise gunned like a heavy cruiser. And the blows are starting to land again. We are taking a few more hits, which we expected. Interestingly enough, they're not doing barrage fire. Ah, that was cool. Oh my gosh, we got tons of hits there. So we're closing in range of all of his weapons at this point, but I'm expecting that our armor is going to stop most of it. I'm expecting not too many critical hits. And that's also what I'm looking forward to, is getting more hits on him. So this is the Japanese ship. Yeah, so they don't yet have the flags flowing in the right direction. I guess they just picked north or something. They could be flying with the wind, and they haven't like taken into effect the fact that your ship's going faster than the wind. It should be flowing not in the direction of the wind. Oh wow. Blew out. It destroyed the second tower. I thought we already destroyed the secondary tower. But got some very big structural hits on there. Yeah, they're just at fire at will. There's no barrage fire, which makes sense for some close misses there. That makes sense for the casemates and such, but not for the main guns. Maybe the main guns. Okay, the forwardmost main gun is out. Oh, they actually are using. They actually are using the side-fired turrets. They have a single 9-inch turret here. So it is bizarre, this thing. Forwardmost turret, I don't know if that's destroyed. Nope, I see it firing. And they have 1, 2. So this is just like the strangest design you're going to see from the AI. At least up there with it. The funny thing is, I think without even turning, we're running away from this guy just because we're so much faster. He quickly leaves our range. So let's close back in. In fact, let's just make it very clear that we want to end his day by just moving in for the kill. This is a point where, of course, it'd be nice if we did have torpedoes. We'd easily... yeah, we got to come back from the range. Our own ship, looks like the fire has started. Ooh, it's in 2 compartments? Just 1. But we've only taken moderate damage to the rear conning tower. And everything else... Oh no, that's the front the front conning tower. The only thing that's taken damage is the front conning tower. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape. He stopped shooting. He's given up. They might still be raining the small arms fire? No? Huh. That is a really cool angle, seeing all that. Was that destroyed main gun? Yeah, the front gun is now gone. A lot of them are gone. Okay. Somehow we destroyed the side gun on the far side. We destroyed this one without destroying this one. I don't know how that works, but anyway, we're really close now. In fact, let's bring her alongside. It's almost over, but what will AP do at this range? I want to ask the question. Let's find out. Here it comes. Yeah, I mean 345. I don't know if it's much better. You just take matters in my own hands. Actually, I can't do that. No. Well, here comes the ability to superfire will be really important right now. Are we gonna turn in time? Are we gonna get him? Okay, we'll never know. I think collisions are turned off. Ramming speed. For now, maybe they will have ramming in the future. because you can ram and rule the waves. So that's a quick look at a one-on-one combat between two rather heavy ships in the upcoming game, Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So although it is Alpha 1, and I'm playing something here, this is actually available to early backers. I'll have a link to the game in the description. If you're interested, you can go and purchase it, and you can be in playing the Naval Academy for yourself. So stay tuned, I'll have some more videos on this coming up. Of course, just because this is so much like Rule the Waves, as you can imagine, this will be a part of my channel for, I would say years to come. This is going to fit in right with Rule the Waves if it turns out to be half as good as it's looking so far. But for now, thanks for watching, and until the next video, take care.